Hi everyone. I'm very happy and well pleased to welcome you all once again to history class. Dear children, we are learning about the rise of nationalism in Europe. So under this title, in the last video, we discussed the unification of Germany. Under that, I have made known to you about the role of Bismarck in the unification of Germany. So he played a major role in the unification of Germany, and he was known as the man of blood and iron. So in the last video, we discussed the unification of Italy, and now let us discuss now about the unification of Italy. Now, during the middle of the 19th century, Italy was divided. Dear children, like Germany, Italy was also divided into a number of political units. So each political unit fought against each other. So there was no political unity, no nationalist feelings among the people. So, like Germany, Italy was also divided into a number of kingdoms. And moreover, some of the foreign powers came and occupied several provinces in Italy. The prominent powers were France, Austria, and Spain. So these foreign powers came and occupied number of territories in Italy. So ultimately, they began to fight against each other, and they wanted to show their political supremacy in Italy. So as a result, there was no unity among the people in Italy. So it was divided into a number of political units, and mainly during the middle of the 19th century, Italy was divided into seven states, out of which only one state, that is Sardinia and Piedmont. Sardinia Piedmont was a powerful kingdom in Italy, and that was ruled by princely house. It was ruled by princely house, and the rest of the kingdoms were ruled by different kings, by different forces, different countries. But Sardinia Piedmont was the only kingdom, and it was ruled by Italian princely house. And here Sardinia was a powerful kingdom in Italy. And now, while the things were like this, here we can see the contribution of three prominent personalities who played a significant role in the unification of Italy. And prominent among them were mainly Joseph Mazzini, Count Cavour, and number three, Joseph Garibaldi. So these three are the prominent nationalists, revolutionaries, personalities who played a significant role in the unification of Italy. Now, let us see and know the contribution of these three personalities. Now, Joseph Mazzini. Joseph Mazzini became an intellectual and spiritual force behind French insurrection, and he was the prominent person who roused the nationalist feelings among the people of Italy. That is why it was Joseph Mazzini who became an intellectual and spiritual force behind the French insurrection, and he played a very prominent role in the unification of Italy, because he was deeply moved by the poor conditions of Italy. That is why, so he decided to do something for his nation. So he was deeply moved by those conditions, and then he joined one secret organization, and that was called Carbonari. He joined the secret organization which is called Carbonari, and besides that, he was deeply moved, as I told you, at the misery of his country, my dear children. So, and then he dressed himself always in black, as if it were his mourning for his country. So that is why he made up his mind to unite divided Italy. So he joined the secret organization which was called Carbonari. So Carbonari was a secret revolutionary organization. And this organization wanted, the main objective of this organization was to unite Italy and to expel and drive out all the foreign forces and to relieve and to redeem Italy from the clutches of the foreign yoke. So with this aim, this secret organization called Carbonari came into force. And here it was Joseph Mazzini who joined this secret organization just to do his bit. And he started later a Young Italy movement. And besides that, in 1830, he was arrested. Joseph Mazzini was arrested. He was arrested and put in prison. And he was sent to an island where he was kept. And there he could only see the sky and the seas. And later, on his release, he came back and then he started a Young Italy movement. He started a Young Italy movement. And particularly, the members of this Young Italy movement were only youth. So, the people or the youngsters who were below the age of 40 years were given membership in this Young Italy movement. So, it was a powerful organization. So, he started this Young Italy movement in France. And later, Metternich, Austrian chancellor, who described him. So when he was doing the unification work in Italy, so Metternich, the chancellor of Austria, who described him as the enemy, as the most dangerous enemy of our social order. He said that he was the most dangerous enemy of our social order. And then Joseph Mazzini formed two underground societies. First one, Young Italy, and the second organization was called Young Europe. Again I say, he established two secret underground societies because in those days they were not permitted to establish these societies. That's why secretly they were running or organizing these societies. So he established two important underground societies. So through these societies, they were doing their unification work in Italy. So the first society that he had established was the Young Italy, and the second organization was called Young Europe. And see, my dear children, take a look at this map. Here you can see all these are the different types of kingdoms and provinces which were under the control of so many kings and foreign powers. Modena, Parma, all these are Naples, Sardinia, Piedmont, and Sardinia, Piedmont was under the control of king of Italy, and the rest of them were shared by different forces, powers. So next. So then, afterwards, Joseph Mazzini contributed his bit for the unification of Italy, and later, and this mission was carried out by another prominent personality who was called Count Cavour. Count Cavour, and Count Cavour became the Prime Minister of Piedmont, and he worked as Prime Minister from 1852 to 1860. So he became the Prime Minister of Piedmont from 1850 to 1860. And previously, before he plunged into the movement, and he worked as an engineer in the army. And later, he left his service and plunged into this revolution. And later, he led this great movement or revolution in Italy. And he too tried his best for the unification of Italy. And later, through a tactful diplomatic alliance with France, engineered by Cavour, Sardinia Piedmont succeeded in defeating Austrian forces in the year 1859. So he succeeded in driving away the forces of Austria in the year 1859, and later he started one newspaper that was edited by him, and it was called Risorgimento. So Risorgimento was the name of the newspaper, and that was edited by Count Cavour. And through this newspaper, he tried his best to rouse the nationalist feelings among the Italians. So it was Cavour, and who was interested in agriculture, and he also started railways. He started railways in Italy, and not only that, he also took all steps for the development of agriculture. And as prime minister, okay, he did his best for the country, and later he decided to unify uh, Italy. So Count Cavour, who led the movement later with the help of Joseph Garibaldi, he took the help of Joseph Garibaldi. So Cavour was one of the famous prominent personality in Italy, who also tried his best and who also contributed his bit for the unification of Italy. And later, another prominent personality, that is Joseph Garibaldi, and he was the third important prominent personality and who worked for the unification of Italy. First, Joseph Mazzini, and second one, the movement was led by Count Cavour, and now the remaining part that was accomplished by Joseph Garibaldi. Now Joseph Garibaldi was a central figure in the unification of Italy. So in the year 1830, he met Joseph Mazzini and joined the Young Italy movement. Once previously, he was also a member of Young Italy movement, and that was started by Joseph Mazzini. So he became the member of this Young Italy movement in the year 1833, and he worked closely with Joseph Mazzini, and he participated in a Republican uprising in Piedmont in the year 1834, and he himself started an army or a regiment, and that regiment was called Thousand Red Shirts. The regiment that was started by Garibaldi was called as Thousand Red Shirts. Most of the members, yes, in this regiment used to wear red dress. That is why that regiment that he had started was called as Thousand Red Shirts. Thousand Red Shirts. So he participated in a Republican uprising in Piedmont in the year 1834, and later in the year 1854 he supported Victor Emmanuel II for his effort to unify the Italian states. Already in the beginning I told you, like Germany, Italy was also divided into a number of political units. So at that time, it was Joseph Mazzini who lent his support to the king of Sardinia, Victor Emmanuel II. So he supported Victor Emmanuel II for his effort to unify the Italian state, because Victor Emmanuel was also trying to unite Italy. So here, this great nationalist Garibaldi, who supported Victor Emmanuel II, and later the name of his regiment, as I told you, was called as Red Shirts. Just before I told you, the regiment that was started by Garibaldi was called as Red Shirts. So in the year 1867, he led the army to Rome to fight for Papal States. Papal State means here Holy Roman Empire. It was under the popes. So the Holy Roman Empire was called Papal States. So in 1867, Joseph Mazzini, who led his army to Rome to fight for Papal States, and in the year 1870, they were finally joined to Italy. So Papal State was joined to or annexed to Italy. Now Papal State, or the Holy Roman Empire, which became the part and parcel of Italy. Okay. Proclamation of United Italy. So in the year 1860, the army marched into South Italy and the kingdom of Two Sicilies, and succeeded in winning the support of local peasants in order to drive out the Spanish rulers. Some of the provinces, especially the Sicily area, are the provinces which were under the control of Spanish rulers. And now, here, Garibaldi, who led his army towards the south of Italy, and he occupied Sicilies from the hands of Spanish rulers. So, Garibaldi succeeded in winning the support of local peasants there. The local peasants in Sicily gave their support to Garibaldi, and with their support, he succeeded to drive out the Spanish rulers from Sicilies. And later in 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was made, or he was proclaimed, the king of United Italy. And Victor Emmanuel II, previously he was the king of Sardinia, and now he became the king of United Italy. Now Italy was completely united, and all the foreign powers were driven away, and now the whole of Italy was united. And now for this united Italy, it was Victor Emmanuel II became the king of United Italy, and this took place in the year 1861. And later Rome became part of Sardinia, and finally the unification of Italy completely achieved in the year 1871. So in the year 1871, Italy became the United Italy. Okay, and for that Victor Emmanuel II was the king of United Italy. Okay, my dears, and that all this comes under the unification of Italy. And in the next video, we shall discuss some more topics. Okay, thank you, children.